Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stella on DearStellaTV. Today, I'm going to be talking to people who have been married for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you know. So people my age, I'm in my 50s now. So people my age with adult children. But of course, those who have been married for a short amount of time have a lot to benefit because by the grace of God, they too, they will get there. Now, I'm specifically talking to those who have been married for longest, and the topic for today is long-term marriage crisis and what to do that costs you nothing. So today, the first thing I'm going to do is tell you why five top reasons why long-term marriages could be in crisis. The first one really is the simplest yet the most complicated at the same time, which is communication issues. Now, if a couple haven't developed good communication over the years while they were having their children, and now they've been married 30 years, 35 years, they are still carrying the old habit of not being able to talk about deep issues, things that hurt them with their husband or their wife. They bottle all that inside because there is not a safe space to have that chat. It's a problem. So there'll be a lot of unresolved issues that over time it builds up. And one day, another thing for me, this is my own personal observation now, which also ties in with one of the top 5 things for me, is the age gap. I noticed that before I got married, I told myself that I'm not going to marry somebody who is like 10 years older than me, 15 years older than me, 20 years older than me. I can't relate because I am a very playful person. I'm a very cheerful person. I'm a very friendly person. So I want somebody I can jokey with, somebody I can laugh with, not be serious all the time. You can't do that when you marry somebody who is 15 years older than you. Sometimes, I guess it depends on the person's mind. Some people can be married that way for 20, 30 years and they have this joyful, playful relationship. Okay, that's fine. But in my own personal observation that I've seen, I noticed that when you marry somebody when the age gap is too much, there's a distance, a natural distance. I don't know. It's possible because it's because of the generational gap. So one is born in the 70s, one is born in the 90s, one is born in the 60s, one is born in the 80s. There's already generational gap and then the way you will relate to each other is different. There are some people who, when they're talking to their husband, you would think, yes, our husbands are king. Don't get me wrong, but they cannot relate to their husband as in on a friendship level. Okay, let me put it as simply as that. On a friendship level, like they can't joke and laugh. And sometimes it's in all that joking and laughter that you can say serious things. And it doesn't come off as too harsh. Because when you try to be serious and you want to discuss serious matters, when you try to be too serious, sometimes you discuss serious matters, it tends to take like the weight of that issue even doubles or triples, and it becomes heavy on the heart, and sometimes you're not able to take it. Your husband or your wife might not be able to take it. So anyway, I've talked so much about that. So age gap is at the age, and again, age at which you marry. If you marry young, the way you handle issues when you get married will be, by the time you get to maybe 30 20 years later, sometimes your outlook has changed, sometimes it hasn't. Sometimes it creates this separation between couples as well. Another big thing is financial problems. If you've had financial problems, deep ones, I'm talking about big issues in marriage, sometimes it actually shakes the foundation of your marriage. Sometimes you begin to see your husband or your wife as your enemy because you are thinking to yourself, I went through this difficult time. Maybe, for example, a husband lost his job at some point in that 35 years of marriage or 40 years of marriage. And the way the wife behaved during that period makes the man realize that, this woman didn't really love me because of the way she was misbehaving, because I could no longer become the provider. Do you understand? Now, if a man like that, when good times come, when they've now overcome that problem, and he doesn't sit his wife down and say, my love, honey, darling, babe, the way you treated me showed me that you did not love me deeply, that our marriage was conditional upon me being able to take care of you or take care of the house. Let her tell you her pain and why she acted the way she did. So if you are not able to talk about deep issues like this, instead, that man keeps it in his heart. What does he do? He decides that he's going to step out and go and get a small girl when he has money now, because he wants somebody who's going to depend on him, somebody who will appreciate him. His wife doesn't appreciate him. After everything he did for her, just because he didn't have a job for 2 years, she treated him like garbage. She put him through hell and all of that. So that comes into the third reason. The third reason why problems are in long-term marriages or where there is difficulty and deep challenges, is infidelity, like personal experiences. If, for example, now a couple has gone through infidelity, which I believe is really common, especially in African marriages. In abroad as well, people cheat like it's two for a penny. So now, single people say it a lot, that they prefer to even date. Some single men say they prefer to date a married woman. Imagine that. And we all know that some married men cheat, you understand? So it's common. So what I'm saying is, if you have those experiences, even if your marriage does not end in divorce and you are together, maybe for other reasons, maybe you apologize, maybe she forgave you or he forgave you, or because of the children or because of family, and you decide to stay together, and you don't really talk about why you cheated and how you made, and acknowledge, or let her speak, or let your husband, if you cheated on your husband, let your husband speak about how he felt emasculated, how he felt disrespected, how he felt small, or let your wife tell you how she felt humiliated, embarrassed, unworthy, how she felt unappreciated, unseen, unheard, undervalued, all of these hurtful things. You let them get it off their chest, and you guys talk about it and say, okay, going forward, how do we handle the reason? If you know why you cheated, it will be easy to handle it in future, because you talk about it and talk about how you can prevent that from happening. Now, that is the third reason marriages go through all these problems. And then I think I've talked about 4: financial, age gap, personal experiences, and communication. 4. The last one is number 5, which is now the society, it's more viable for somebody who is divorced. It's a viable option for them, because society has made it easier. The law has made it easier. It's generally more accepted. Before, I know when I was growing up, being divorced, it was a big deal. As in, I don't think it wasn't that common, because I didn't really hear, oh, this one is divorced, oh, this one is divorced. No. We didn't used to hear. In Benin City, I didn't used to hear that a lot then, when I was young. But now, it's so common. It's a shock. You should be asking who is married. That is the question we should be asking: who is married? It's either people are not married, people are separated, or people are divorced, or people are just hanging on by a thread. They are in the same house, but they are living separate lives, and the children know it, and everybody knows it. So maybe because it's too expensive to have separate houses, so they just stick together. So that's more common now, which is very unfortunate. So, and that's the reason I'm doing this video. So now that we have talked about the big 5 reasons, if you have other reasons, please share it. The top 5 reasons why long-term marriages could be in crisis, right? Now, let me share with you 10 things that you can do for nothing, that you can practice in your marriage. Please do not say, husband, Mr. Married man, please do not say that I can't do this. I'm too old for this, please. because this is your life. I was telling my husband, I said, there are a lot of sad old men. Not necessarily that they are widowers, that their wives are dead, but maybe due to divorce and everything, they've lost everything. And they look so sad and they look so miserable. So sometimes when, actually, like marriages from the 60s, for example, yes, the people stick together those days because it was expected of you to stay there no matter what is going on, you know. But now, like I said, you have viable options for divorce. So the number one thing that you can do, simple and easy, is friendship. If you don't have a friendship with your husband, now is the time to start again. Because now your children, I'm talking about marriages where the children have left the house. Like I have, 20-something-year-old children. They are still at home. But I mean, my marriage will be 26 years this year by the grace of God. It's already past 25, right? So there's some people who are married 30 years, 35. So sometimes all their kids are gone, or 3 are gone. So you just have maybe one adult left in the house. In cases like this, your kids don't need you anymore. A lot of times, women stay in marriages because of their children. Their children need them. They want the husband to be good to their children, to take care of their children, be there for their children so that the children have father figure. As soon as the man has served that purpose, if she hasn't been happy in that marriage, if she hasn't felt that her needs, her desires, her goals, and her dreams have not been met in that marriage, she's not happy. She's bored. The man, she feels the man is not there. Once the children leave, she finds herself with nothing to do apart from going to work and coming back. So it's important, number one, this costs nothing. Friendship, develop a friendship or deepen the friendship you have with your husband or your wife. You have to prioritize. All of these things I'm going to talk about is you are going to have to prioritize your marriage and your friendship over everything else with your husband or your wife. If you want to make sure that the crisis in your marriage at the moment ends and you start open a new page. So the memories that have gone by, you are going to learn from it and you're going to create new memories together. So you see this as an opportunity to have a whole new life. Do you understand? So romantic moments, now you're going to start building your own romantic moments. It makes me sad when I hear people say, romance is not for me. Romance is for women. You get it so wrong. A woman cannot have a romantic life without a man. Neither can a man have a romantic life without a woman. Number one is holding hands. As simple as holding hands is important because you feel your emotions through your hands. You feel connected through your hands. You feel warmth through your hands. There is a lot that goes on there. Senses, touching. It's so important. You see that people who cheat, the most important thing they do is touching. Touching. Let's not even talk about sex now. Touching. You see, they put their hands under the table. Maybe they are at a restaurant having dinner, or even with their family. People who cheat with their husband and their wife, maybe cheat. A lot of people don't cheat with strangers now. They cheat with maybe their friend's wife or their friend's husband. And now, so people who come to your house for dinner or you go to their houses for dinner, so they will hold each other or touch each other with their feet under the table. Tactile. So, but you who are married, you don't want to practice that one because you feel you take it for granted. It's not important. It is very important. So you hold hands when you are together, seated. Like my husband and I, we sit on this chair, on this sofa, we are watching TV, we hold hands, or our shoulders are rubbing against each other. Do you understand? Or we share the same blanket, or even when we're eating, we can sit on the dining table to eat, or we sit in the table in our room to eat, or we sit on this chair, we sit down, we eat meals together. It is important that you eat meals together. That's number two. Even if you're not sitting at the dining table, it depends on what is happening in your home. We're not very formal like that. So we can sit in the living room watching TV and we're eating and we are gisting. That's two. Share meals together. Three, share snacks together. Do you understand? My husband and I, we can fight over nuts, pistachio nuts and groundnuts and plantain crisps, and all those Nigerian snacks. We enjoy it. So we share it. My husband, we can buy one, or my son can even buy for us. Say, this is for mom, this is for dad, or this is for mom. And I will say, okay, I will share it with my husband. I will not eat it until my husband comes from work, right? So we can share it. After sharing it, he will still give me from his own. Me? He will still give me from his own, or he can say, give me from yours. I'll say, but I've already shared now. I've already given you your own. He will say, just give me 2 or 3. It's a game. It's beautiful. It's as simple as that. Then we'll laugh and then we'll argue over nuts. Yes. So share snacks together. Any snacks both of you enjoy. It's very, very important. It helps. Number 4, try and put your head. You know those things you do when you just got married? Bring them back and do them if you ever did. If you didn't do that, now is the time to learn. You can teach an old dog new tricks. Even though they always say you can't, but you can. So now you can, if your husband is sitting in the living room, maybe pressing his phone, you can go as a woman, you can go and lie down beside him and put your head on his lap, or put your head on his shoulder. And Mr. Husband, you too, please, you can put your head on your wife's legs, on her thighs, and she can rub you can play with her hair. For example, I put my head on my husband's shoulder, he rubs my hair. I can put my hand around his back and I'll rub in his hair while we are watching TV or while we are talking. You stay connected, you stay touching. Remember? Also, if your husband is bald, you'll be rubbing his hair, you tease him about it, you laugh about it. That is what, this is friendship with benefits. You know, you tease each other, you laugh. It's important. Something as simple as that. It's simple, but people don't do it. Another thing my husband and I do is we dance together. One day, my husband put on this music. He said, my love, there's a music I want to show you. It's called Chike. What's the title of this song again? I will remember. When I remember, I'll tell you. So it has now turned to me and his song. We love it. So we dance to it. I don't know the title, but and I don't want to sing it just in case my voice isn't all that. So anyway, we dance to it. So I have a playlist that we've selected over the years as songs that both of us like. So we can just play it and I start dancing. My husband and I start dancing, and then he will spin me around. We dance in the kitchen, we dance in the bedroom, we dance in the living room. Sometimes we get the children to video us. Just randomly. I could be my 90, and we can just, like weekend now, we can do that. During the week he comes from work, I sing for him. He comes from work, I sing for him, just to lighten his mood, to make him happy, to remove the stress of work. Simple things like that you can do. So form a playlist that both of you like, and that's what I'm talking about, generational gap. If you have 20 years, the kind of songs he will like will be different from the kind of songs you will like. Still, that doesn't matter. There will be songs that both of you can connect on. Find it. 1, 2, 3 songs, special songs to both of you. Put it on randomly, dance to it. You don't have to do too much. These days I can't really boogie. But we'll dance like our age, and then we'll just have fun. We're laughing, we're looking into each other's eyes. My husband is a musician anyway, so he has his songs. Sometimes we dance to the song he hasn't released yet, or the one he has released. Do the same thing. It promotes joy and laughter in your marriage. Do you understand? There's another thing. When I was praying for this topic to talk about it, I'm so sorry the video is long, but it's so important. It's not something I want to just wrap up in 6 minutes. No. There's something that is really, I prayed when I said, God, I'm going to do this. People who have been married for so long. Tell me what to say to them. This one came, and I think it's beautiful. It's together, my husband and I do this, by the way. Together, tell your love journey stories. How you met, why you chose your wife, how she first maybe rebuffed you, maybe she didn't accept her. Your story is unique to you and your wife, or you and your husband. Share those stories with your children, your grown children now, and your grandchildren. Say it over and over, both of you. So this one will fill in the blank spaces, before you met, how you met, what you thought about, why you thought he was the one, and all of that. The parents, the children coming in, you say it in like, it's not one day. It's a habit that you will now form. Maybe your children come for dinner, maybe you go over to their place. When you are together, talk about it. Why? It's important because it brings back a rush of those good old memories, the glory days, the happy days. It makes your heart grow fonder for each other a little at a time. You know, the more you say the stories, the more those stories, because there are some things, after you've been married 40 years, 30 years, there are some things you won't even remember. Do you understand? So, but it's in recollecting those memories that you bring those things. Oh, that's true. I forgot. You know, you'll be like, I've forgotten about it. There are times my husband and I are talking, and my husband says something, I'm like, you still remember that one? I totally forgotten. And it helps you to remember. It sharpens your relationship. Look, it's simple and effective. Another thing you can do together is the simplest of it all. Sit together every day and chat. I know social media is so distracting. Put your phones by your side. Sometimes my husband is talking to me, I'm on my phone because I'm doing videos for you guys, or I'm sharing it on TikTok and all that. Yes, there isn't anything much I do on my phone apart from all of these videos and sharing it and everything, right? But you can both of you put your phones aside. Remember in the beginning I said prioritize your relationship, prioritize your friendship. It means you have to spend quality time together every day. This is what lovers do. And you are lovers with a ring on your hand. Do you understand? So you have a beautiful thing. Cherish it, fan it, let it be burning with a romantic fire that would make your heart swell for each other. Do you understand? So you sit together and you chat every day. Talk about mundane things, ordinary things. Talk about how your day was, what you did. Talk about the children. Talk about gossip. Talk about phone calls you received during the day. Did you receive phone call? Did anybody call you? What did you people discuss? Then you can go on to deep things. You can talk about the things that are troubling you and all of that. And then, honestly, if you practice this every day, why am I saying it? There are people who are married, they've not had this kind of conversation for the last 1 month. When you haven't had that, you are living with a stranger. Because if you're living your friend, you will have these conversations every day. If you are sharing a flatmate, if you are sharing a flat with your friend or a house with your friend, you talk every day now. Your friend that you people grow up together, you will talk every day, you will laugh every day, you will about the stress of the day, you talk about it, it'll make you feel better. That's the same thing you're supposed to do in your marriage. So do it. Another important one that came to me, that dropped in my heart when I was preparing for this, was write down your goals on goals you haven't achieved yet. Write down the places you wish to see in this world. Write down your fantasies. Write down your unmet desires so far. The things that you desire that you still haven't done, or hasn't been met in your marriage so far because of, raising a family or responsibility, all the whether it's your own children or other people's children or your parents or your brothers and your sisters or work life and everything. It's been hard. Write down those things. Write down your unmet needs, the things you really love that you were doing in your marriage that you've not been able to do. Somebody like me, when I got married, I got pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant if it was possible to say the next month. I was ready, very, very ready. So now for me, I got pregnant 3 months on the 3rd month after I got married. So all my life, I've had my daughter in my marriage. Do you understand? My daughter, so my marriage is going to be 26 this year. She's going to be 25, to the glory of God, right? So with that said, we've had, so apart from my husband is my number 1 best friend. She's my number 2 best friend. Do you understand? So now, and then we'll have our son. With all of that, sometimes maybe there are unmet needs that you have. I'll give you an example. For example, when I met my husband, he told me that he loved music and that he wants to do music. But guess what? I now said, I cannot wait. I am ready to get married. We got married. He only did music many years after we got married because I told him that you can always do music later. So he deferred it. Do you understand? I said, when I met my husband, I was traveling at the time. I love traveling. I'm an adventurous person. I like to see the world. But I deferred it to have a family, to raise a family, to build a life together with my husband. And then now we are saying, look, now we can start traveling. We love to travel because now the kids are grown. They don't need us to monitor them every day, right? So all those are like these unmet desires. That's what I mean by unmet desire. Maybe over the years you've not done. Write it down, discuss it, and help each other achieve it. It's very, very important. Now, on a regular basis, weekly, daily, monthly, write a thank you note to each other. Or if you are more comfortable, a thank you text. Those are part of things of, it's not just respect, but it's about taking each other for granted. Because you feel that this is your husband or your wife's responsibility. Therefore, there's no need to say thank you. After all, me too, I'm doing this. No. Every little thing, write a thank you note. Write a thank you text. Say thank you. It goes a long way to make the other person feel valued, feel like they're making a contribution, feel like they're needed. And therefore, your thank you, it looks so simple, but it's extremely important in long-term relationship. Do you understand? And also, I don't know if there's anything much, you can celebrate. What are you? Oh gosh, my knee hurts. Sorry about that. So anyway, what I'm saying is, look, I think I've listed all the 10 things. Celebrate, in summary, what I'm saying is celebrate. LLLJ, triple L and 1J. Celebrate the longevity of your marriage every day. Celebrate laughter in your marriage. Celebrate love. Your love is special. It's priceless. And celebrate joy. Just all of that. That is what all this is about. Spending quality time and prioritizing your marriage. So I pray that in the mighty name of Jesus, your marriage will have a beautiful experience. That it will change. God will change it for the best. That your latter years together as a married couple will be better than your former years. And your joy will be unending. And you will make new memories together. I will make new memories together with my husband. In Jesus Christ's name. Now, I said that costs you nothing. That was what I said in the beginning. However, if you want other things you can do that will cost you something, I've said it before in previous video, date nights are good. Go on dates as frequently as your pocket and as your finances will allow. Another thing you can do is go on holidays together. Please, it's important you see the world. Even if you are not an adventurous person, even if you don't like traveling, travel together with your husband and wife. Meet other people. See places that you've never been to. That's the way you can write a whole new book about your life together post the children. Make new memories. Memories that you will now talk about when you are 60 years in marriage, 50 years in marriage. That you can, memories of places you've been to that you can share with your great-grandchildren and with your grandchildren still to come in Jesus' name. And also, you can experience new cultures, taste new food. You know, these are all part of the beautiful memories that you will cherish in the years to come. So I pray that your marriage will be blessed. My marriage will be blessed. Please share this to anyone you know who has been married for 20 years and above. Especially those whose children are whose children are now married. To the grandmothers. I'm now talking to grandmothers and grandmothers to be. And I pray that we all have great joy in Jesus' name. Until next time, it's your girl Stella. Like this video, share and subscribe. I'm sorry it's so long. God bless. Bye.